Welcome, students. In the last session, we had discussed about the Rashtrakoot, Gurjar Pratihar, Rajput, Chauhans, and the Battle of Tarain. And now today, we will discuss about the Chol as a case study. So, in the medieval period, there were different powers and the rulers which were evolving during this period. So, as the Chols were also a powerful dynasty during medieval period. So let's see how was their administration. The Chol dynasty was one of the ancient dynasties which ruled in South India. It maintained its prestige under the Sangam age, but gradually it reduced to become a feudatory of the Pallavas. It again revived its glory in the middle of the 9th century and maintained its supremacy for about 4 centuries under the able rulers of this dynasty. Vijayalaya was the founder of the revived Chol dynasty. He belonged to the chieftain family of the Chols from Urayur. He broke away from the Pallavas and conquered Tanjore and established his capital there. He also built a temple for goddess Nishumbhasudini there. Nishumbhasudini there. His son Aditya was his successor, who brought a lot of glory to this kingdom, but the power was crushed by Rashtrakuts and this dynasty remained subdued for about 30 years. Rajaraja I of the Chol dynasty once again established the Chol supremacy in the region. This period of rule was from 985 CE to 1014 CE. The kingdom under his kingship became a rich empire. He also developed a strong navy by conquering the naval forces of the Chair kingdom in Kerala, the area of Madurai and Ceylon, present-day Sri Lanka. His domain thus spread up to areas of present-day Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Even parts of Ceylon were under his control. Now Rajendra I, the son of Rajaraja I, continued the expansionist policy of his father. He conquered the whole of Sri Lanka in the south. He also ventured northwards and conquered parts of the Gangetic plains. He thus got the title of Gangai Kond Chol. This was the title, the Gangai Kond Chol, which was taken by Rajendra I. He ruled for the period he ruled for the period 1014 CE to 1044 CE. He also developed a good irrigation system in the region. Gradually, this empire started declining in the 13th century. The administration of Chols. The Chol rulers devised a well-structured administrative system for effective governance. The structure of such governance given below shows that these were quite similar to modern democracy and local self-governance as practiced today. The king was the head of the administration As you can see in the different dynasties, the king was the head of the administration. He was assisted by a council of ministers. The kingdom was divided in two categories. One category was governed by vassal chiefs, while the others were directly under the control of the king. The directly governed regions were subdivided into districts called nadus. Nadus were the subdivided districts. Further, the nadus were divided into units called kurrams. So, the subdivided districts nadus were divided into different units. It were called as kurrams. The lower level administration was conducted by a process of local self-governance. There were four types of assemblies. The Natlas, this assembly looked after the civic problems. The Natlas, this assembly looked after the civic problems. The Nagrata, this looked after trade and civil matters. And the Mahasabha, it was a representative assembly of villagers. This assembly met in a temple or public hall. It had 8 committees to look after matters relating to land, roads, judicial accounts, irrigation, cultivation, etc. It also used to oversee revenue collection and expenditures of the administration. Now, the Ur, this was a gathering of villagers. Ur was a gathering of villagers which used to discuss matters of common interest and resolved trivial issues amongst the people.